Hey guys, welcome back to another Game of Thrones recap / review. We are now on to episode 2 of season 7, and we have thoughts.
So this episode started off right where the last one ended with Daenerys at Dragonstone, and she's planning her conquest of the Seven Kingdoms.
So we see Melisandre actually show up at Dragonstone, and she starts talking about the King of the North and how he could be a good ally. Did she say he would be a good ally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she said that they both had parts to play.
That's right, because of her prophecy with the Lord of Light and everything. And then, Tyrion obviously spoke up during that. It was like, Jon, my bro.
I always forget that they were friends, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really cute how he, stood up for Jon and was like, you guys would make a good team, go get him. So Daenerys ends up inviting Jon to Dragonstone.
Then we pop over to King's Landing where Cersei is planning her attack on everyone, and she's clearly pissed off that people are uniting against her.
She's gone a little crazy. Not that she hasn't before, but...
And one of the crazier parts of this episode, in my opinion, is she goes down to the basement where Robert Baratheon kept all the dragon bones, and we see how big those dragons can get.
They're bigger than the ones that Daenerys has, because they're not full grown yet, I'm assuming. And these skulls were ginormous.
It was the size of a bus. It was nuts.
And it turns out that they actually have, this spear launching weapon that will actually just pierce straight through the skull bone, which is terrifying.
Yeah, so we'll see if those get used. When we watched that moment, we were both like, oh, is she going to be so pissed if one of her dragons dies? So we'll see if those get used.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe she'll end up hearing word about it or build them some armor or something. But my thing is, if it pierces bone like that, is there even any armor in the Seven Kingdoms that would block it? I don't know.
Well, that's true. I also don't know if their scales will provide natural protection anyways. That was just a skull. So maybe...
True, but...
And it was a bone that had been sitting there. So I wonder, an alive bone.
It was really close range, so...
If they're flying around, if you're actually going to be able to hit them...
Yeah.
Especially in the head, we'll see.
Then we pop back over to Khaleesi at Dragonstone, and she has gathered this council of people to go up against Cersei, and that includes, Lady Tyrell, which was Marjorie's grandmother, correct? And then we have the lady from Dorne, and her daughters are also around, but she's on the council. And we've got Varys and Tyrion.
And they're all sitting around and they're planning their big battle plan, and it's clear that they have a very good idea of what they want to do.
Yeah, but they're a little opposite on opinions, because some want to straight up attack Cersei, and Daenerys is kind of saying, that's not what I want to do. I want to, work through the people, or not do it in such an onslaught, brutal way that's going to get everybody killed. And Lady Tyrell has to kind of set her straight with it. Yeah,
she's like, you're a dragon, you need to be a dragon, which I think Lady Tyrell is going to be a little right with the rest of the things that happen this episode.
Yeah, so. I think Daenerys, she had a really strong, go at it last season, and she was being really ruthless and stuff, and she seems to be taking a little bit of a step back from that, and I'm hoping that she'll go back to being a little ruthless. I mean...
Maybe a good middle ground.
Yeah, because we don't want her just ruthlessly murdering a bunch of people, but...
But I like Daenerys best when she's doing things, not just saying things. Yes. This episode, we also follow up with Jorah, and we see him interacting with Sam over at the tower. What is that place called? The Citadel, that's what it's called.
And we don't know how Jorah got there. I guess it's not important, but...
Yeah, I'm assuming after Daenerys sent him off to get a cure for his, the stone skin, that he found his way there because he was hoping all the doctors there could help him. But no one's clearly helping him. He just sits in a cell. But Sam decides to help him, and that scene was gross.
Super gross. The people who have been editing the last couple episodes, just the way they cut between scenes and whatnot, is just ugh.
Yeah, because they cut off a piece of his, stone skin, and then he's about to go in with his, scalpel over the heart, and then it clips to a bowl of, porridge, and you just see, and you're like, oh gosh, that was gross.
Another big plot development for the Stark family in this episode was actually Arya finding out that Jon is still alive, because up until this point, she has thought that everybody in her family is dead except for maybe Sansa, but she's kind of given up on Sansa because Sansa was being a bit of a jerk with the whole Joffrey thing last time they saw each other. Was that the last
way
time?
Back when, season 2?
Yeah, they haven't been together forever. So, and that scene was just heartbreaking, because you just see her process it when she's talking to Hot Pie, and it's just Your brother is alive, go get him.
And Sansa had some development of her own this episode because Jon was like, I have to go see Daenerys, and everyone was like, no, you can't.
And Sansa was really against it.
And Jon was very adamant that he was like, no, I'm going, and that's that. And it was funny because Sansa was like, who's going to take care of everything?
You're abandoning your people.
And he's just like, I'm leaving it in good hands. Who's yours? And I think she was a little stunned by that after...
But you saw the little bit of a smile there, like she's excited.
Well, I think that's the thing is because last episode, she felt like she didn't have any power there with the whole Jon situation. And I think this is like him kind of giving some back to her, being like, no, you're just as important as me, even though you're not the king of the North.
I do worry about her relationship with Littlefinger a little bit. I know that she's been really pushing him away lately, but I don't know. I sense something a little off about that, and Littlefinger being there without Jon to interfere and say, like, leave my sister alone and all that. I just worry that he's going to weasel his way back in. And I know that some people have been discussing since this episode came out that they're wondering if Sansa is actually conspiring with Littlefinger and keeping it under wraps, and that's why she's been so adamantly against him as, like, a show.
This episode closes with a bang with a huge naval battle. Yara is going back to Dorne to drop off whatever her name is and pick up the Dornish army to go, start executing Daenerys' battle plan, and it all goes to shit.
Yeah, Euron shows up with his fleet from the Iron Islands, so his iron ships, and just wreaks havoc, and the way he just relishes in chaos and destruction just, like, gives me the chills.
Yeah, just his own men are, like, burning alive around him while he's just fighting, and he just sees nothing else.
Well,
it was
he's
very
attacking
Norse.
his own family.
Yeah, it's true. He's so out for their blood.
Because he's their uncle, is that right? Theon and Yara's?
Yeah. And I was really hoping that the good guys would come out on top this time, but when we were watching it, I even said, where I was like, you know what? Nothing bad has happened in a long time in this show.
Yeah.
It's about time that something heartbreaking happens.
Yeah, so we end up seeing the Sand Snake daughters, 2 of them get killed out of the 3, and I really thought it was going to be the other one who we didn't see get killed because she was established as a mama's girl very heavily in this episode, and I thought because of that she was going to get killed, like, in front of mom, or she was going to die protecting mom or something. Something like that, but it turns out the other 2 die, they're strewn across the
boat,
yeah, just the front of the boat, and mom and mama's girl gets abducted, basically, and we don't know what's happened to them.
Yeah, they're still alive. I don't think pleasant things are in store for them.
Oh, no.
But Euron gets Yara, and Theon has a chance to, like, save her or do something about it, and he decides to be a coward and jumps overboard.
Which, there's a lot of discussion around that, whether he was actually being cowardly or being smart. I'm of the opinion he was being cowardly, but if I'm proven wrong, so be it.
I think his journey is a long one, so I think it was him totally being cowardly, but I think he's going to go after her to try and save her, yeah.
We mentioned in our last recap/review of the first episode that the beginning of the season wasn't very strong in our opinion. It was a more slow-paced episode that was just reminding you where everyone was. And I thought this episode did a lot better with moving the plot forward and being a little bit more exciting and just developing a lot more with the characters and the storyline overall.
Yeah, I think a lot more happened for the characters this time. And part of that is because I think they only focused on a couple of the main characters and they didn't necessarily travel to every single part and character and follow up where they were. And I think the episodes are stronger when they do that because more can happen.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for next week when we see Jon and Daenerys meet up with each other because I wasn't expecting that until, like, the end of this season. So they're moving a lot faster than I was expecting, which I'm excited to see where they go with that.
But I think that'll be a good meeting because they're both, like, the powerhouses of the show right now. It'll be cool to see if they butt heads or if they get along. Well,
and I have a feeling they're both going to kind of feel slightly superior to the other. And so we know Daenerys is not for that at the moment. And Jon, I'm not quite sure where he's at with that. So we'll see how he reacts.
We really like this episode. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, please like this video. It helps us out a lot. And subscribe to our channel. We plan on doing a recap like this for every single episode this season.
This is also the first video we're recording after hitting 100 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. We're very happy to have you along for this crazy YouTube journey we've gone on. And in celebration of hitting this milestone, we are actually doing a Q&A video at the end of this week. So we will probably be recording that on Friday. So comment below with any of your questions you have for us, whether they are, you know, movie related, TV show related, personal related, if you want to get to know us a little bit better. I know we haven't really discussed much personal things
We'll
yet.
answer anything.
Maybe
not anything.
But leave us your questions. We really want to get to know you guys and let you guys get to know us better.
And as always, if you guys want to check out some of our other videos, we'll have them right over there for you. And we'll see you on our next video.
Bye.